So I just walked in, fell straight through the ceiling, fell straight through the ceiling and onto the customer's bed below in their bedroom. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I don't have anything specific to talk about today. You know, it's not a bike review. It's not hidden gems. But I have just got back from a really nice meal with my old man, my dad, my mum and my girlfriend for Father's Day. And we were like, you know, as you do, reminiscing and stuff about our lives and stuff. And then I kind of thought, you know what? I do a lot of talking on this channel. Lots. And I was thinking, I haven't really spoke about me. And what I mean by that is, like, I don't think I've spent much time telling you about me or who I am, what I am, how I came to be. I'm not saying that's super important, but you know, I thought I'd do a video on it for those who are interested. So this video is going to be all about me. Whilst I go on a nice ride down the, probably, well, I'm going from here to the cycle track, obviously, and then I don't know where I'll go after that. So yeah, where do I start? Right, so I am Bristol born and bred, Bristol in England, as you can probably tell from the accent. My dad is about as Bristol as it gets, born and bred Southmead, Meader. And then my mum brings the colour to the relationship and the family, and I mean that literally. So I'm mixed raced, and what it is in that cocktail is obviously English, a little bit of French, but also, oh bloody hell, I slipped out then, that was close, but also Dominican. So my granddad came over to this country, my mum's dad, in the Windrush era, and he met my nan, and very shortly afterwards they decided to get married, and her family, so like my great nan and granddad and her sisters and her brothers and all that, completely disowned her because obviously she was getting married to a black man, and things were a little bit different back then, but still they completely disowned her. So from the moment she made that decision, she never spoke to him again, not a single one of them. So yeah, but it worked out for the best. My nan and granddad had 5 kids, my mum being the middle one of them, and they lived together until my granddad died. I don't know, probably like 12, 13 years ago now, and then my nan died like 8 years ago. But yeah, lived happy life together. So that's how I grew up. And as a kid, I always loved to draw and I loved to do creative stuff. So this has always been in my blood to do somewhat creative, whether that's YouTube or whatever. And it's bled into like what I did at school and what I did in university, and then what I eventually do for work. So as a kid, as you know, I love to do creative stuff, but I was not academic, not in any way, shape, or form. So my grades were never good. I was one of those kids that on your little report card before parents' evening, which is a thing in England where parents have to go in once or twice a year and they talk to the teachers about your progress, all that shit. They'd always say the same thing. They'd say, Jay, he's really bright, but he just cannot shut up. And that's still the same now. And then, this was back before the government decided that people had to be in education until they're 18. I left school at 16, and my dad, he asked me, he went, Jay, so what do you want to do then? And I said to him, and these words are famous in my family now. He went, what do you want to do, Jay? And I went, I want a job, Dad, where I don't have to think. Literally what I said to him, a job where I don't have to think. And he was just like, and he said he's always been proud of me his whole life, but he wavered that day. I don't blame him. And he was like, so what do you envision that to be? And me being a fucking idiot at the time, I was like, I'm going to be a bricklayer. Which is so naive, right? Because I might have some builders, some bricklayers watching this. And that is so incredibly insulting. And I'm still sorry about it now. Because, one, it's total lies. There's so much thinking involved in being a bricklayer and a builder. Like maths, all those kind of things. The planning that goes into it. You know, if you ever tried building a wall, just go out, buy some bricks, buy some more, and try and build a good looking wall. I dare you, right? So yeah, and then two, it was just dumb of me because the character I was, but bricklaying was just not for me. But because I'm stubborn, still am today, it's exactly what I did. I applied for a bricklaying course and I did it for a year. And I got my MVQ in it, and I just didn't like it, you know. And it was there also that I found out that I was actually quite intelligent. You guys can go first.
That's cool as heck, man.
Cheers, buddy.
That is a bruiser.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. No worries. Cheers, guys. So yeah, it was just, and I found out I was like quite intelligent, and I'm not talking about like I knew everything in the world. I knew answers that no one else knew. Those kind of things. Not what I'm talking about. I just had an aptitude for learning. Like I could learn things a lot faster than anyone else in my class. All those kind of things. And I actually worked out that I actually quite like learning. But just that school wasn't the best environment for me because you don't have any choice. There's no choice to what you're learning about. Whereas once I left school, I was given that choice, allowed that choice, and I liked what I was learning. But obviously, whilst I did this course, the main thing I learned was that I did not want to work outdoors. Especially in England. Might be nice somewhere like Spain or something like that, but not in England. So I decided that, and I was like, right, I still want to stick to a trade, because all I ever heard as a kid was get yourself a trade. Get yourself a trade. That's what people used to say. They were like, get yourself a trade, and then if things don't work out, you can go back on your trade. That's all you used to hear when I was a kid. So I went and did a carpentry apprenticeship. And that was really good. I had good fun on that, like especially in the college elements. But like when I went out on site and stuff, it was horrible. Like I started window fitting, so I was still working outside. And then one time, and then when it came to an end, it came to a close. I was really hating my placement at the time. And they asked me to go in a loft. We were doing loft conversions. They asked me to go in a loft, which is an attic, for those Americans out there. And we were doing loft conversion, and I wasn't meant to be in there. I hadn't been cleared. I hadn't done my courses to be allowed in a loft. And the person I was working under asked me to come in and grab him some tiles or something. So I just walked in, fell straight through the ceiling, and onto the customer's bed below, in their bedroom. So at least I didn't hurt myself. But yeah, and then after that, I waited the next day on my pickup place. So like the guys would pick you up, because obviously we didn't have cars, we couldn't afford it. We were on apprenticeship wages, and I waited there for 3 hours and never showed up. So, and then after that 3 hours, the guy who used to arrange our placements he called me. He was like, they called me, they don't want you anymore. Can you come in tomorrow? We need to have a talk, right? So I was like, oh, bloody hell, here we go. And I went home and I went to my mum. My mum was there. And I was like, Ma. I was like, they've just straight up fired me. She was like, have they? You know, because she already knew the story about, you know, how and why I fell through the roof. And I was just like, yeah. And I was like, Mum, I'm not being funny. And I was like, but I hate this job. And she was like, well, quit then. And I was like, what? Because I wasn't expecting that to come from my mum. She was like, quit if you hate it. She was like, it's a long, she was like, you know, going to work 9 till 5 every day, that's a big portion of your life you're going to hate. If you hate your job. And that stuck with me forever, that has. And she was like, but believe you me, you ain't doing fuck all. She was like, you're not sitting at home playing Xbox. And I was like, cool. So the next day, I come in for that meeting with my placement guy. And I walk in, I sit down, and he comes in, and this guy was a piece of work, I tell you. And he comes in, got his face like his dog just died. He's looking at me, and I know he's about to start moaning at me, or shouting at me. So I just go, look. I'm not here for a lecture, mate. And he just kind of looked shook. And I was like, I'm quitting. Get me all the paperwork I need to make that happen right now. And he was just like, what? Got all like, he was just all confused. And got the paperwork, signed it, left. Never looked at carpentry again since. And yeah, I've been much happier for it. I wouldn't even do any at home. Like we need to put a new skirting board on or something like that, and I'm like, nah, get a guy in. I ain't touching carpentry. I'm done with that life. Yeah, so I left. And then I kind of struggled to find what I wanted, but I'd always been a creative person. I've always been on computers and stuff like that. I was really am still to this day computer literate. And I was sat on my PC one day, and my dad came in. He goes, you decided what you want to do yet? And my dad, he worked at Airbus for 45 years. And he came in, got this nice suit on. It's the end of the day, and the fucker still looks clean. And I was like, Dad, I want to come in clean like you, man. I don't want to come in covered in mortar, covered in sawdust, etc. And I was like, that's just not my life. I was like, that's not what I want. And he was like, well, I was like, what? He was like, what do you like to do? And I was like, you know, I like doing stuff on my computer. And he was like, well, why don't you look for a computing course? So I was like, I could do. And I said to him, I was like, how do you feel about university? And he was like, well, you'd be the first one in the family to get a degree. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do some computing at uni. And then, obviously, the realisation then came that I don't have the grades to get into uni. So I had to work out what I need to do at college to amass the UCAS points that would allow me to go to university. And that's exactly what I did. I did 5 years at college to get the right UCAS points. Then I went to university. I first did computer science, and then I did computer animation. Yeah, what I did. So I did my computer animation degree, got that, got a 2-1, but after that I didn't want to be an animator. You know, it's not the style of artwork that I enjoy doing. I love watching it, it's just I don't like doing it. So what I did is I left there and then actually fell back on my IT course that allowed me to go to uni. And I ended up working in IT in a small care company here in Bristol. And I worked there on and off for about 5 years. I left a couple of times. But it gave me all the skills I needed from an IT standpoint. But whilst I was there, I transitioned more into business partnering, which is really the customer side of things, and helping out with the training videos and all that kind of stuff that allowed me to use the skills I'd amassed in animation, my artwork skills, to create really engaging videos. And then whilst I was doing that, honestly, it was so rewarding, man. Just like when someone doesn't know how to do something, whether it's simple or really complicated, and you are the man that gives them the video that makes it click in their minds, it's a mint. It is mint. So that's when I decided this is the career I want. I want to do customer-facing stuff. I want to be helping people. More importantly, I don't want to be stuck to a desk. I want to be going out, helping people, doing stuff, and desk work as well, that kind of stuff, but not as my main source of doing things throughout the day. So, in the end, I ended up where I am now, after a few false starts. I work for local council. I'm a user adoption lead, which essentially means what I do is when a business or a corporation or an organisation like council bring in a system that is going to affect people en masse, you know, like a new payroll system or a new housing system if you work in the housing sector, those kind of things, and they really need their staff to adopt it and use it and see it as a positive, which they are, but it's hard to see that in work because people are really, really scared of change. Then they bring someone like me in who does all the business or does all the like relationship work and is the face really of the change. And that's what I do. That is my job. I love every moment of it. I work mainly from home. I probably go in the office once, maybe every 6 or 7 weeks. But yeah, it allows me to talk to everyone. I go out to all stretches of the user base. You know, like in my local council, we've got like 3,500 staff stretched over like 30 different departments. So I get to talk and converse and work with so many different people from so many different walks of life. And yeah, that's my story, guys. That is me. And obviously that's just from a work perspective. You know, like I met my girlfriend 2 weeks before I went to uni. And we've been together ever since. This is our 12th year together. And everyone goes, when are you going to get married? It's not something we ever think about because we don't want children either, you know, so we just enjoy a life that's pretty free, you know, like I have the ability to pretty much do what I want when I want to. You know, we can go on holidays. So yeah, we live quite a free, blessed life, I say, and we both earn good money. And it allows me the freedom to do things like this or buy a bike like this. But it took a long time to get there, you know. Like I'm 33. I only started earning decent money when I was 32. Until that point, I was below the UK average, I guess. You know, until that point. But it was only when I found like what I was actually really passionate about at work that I started to, like, you know, get better offers and all those kind of things. And I think the most important bit is take a chance on yourself, man. Like, if you think you're really good at something, just take a chance on it. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Said something to me then, but I have no idea what it was. I think it was in a different language. But yeah, find something you're really, really passionate about. And I don't mean I'm really, really passionate about making TikTok videos or something like that, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, some people make millions and millions of that, you know? But they're like the small percentage. I just mean something practical. I think it's probably the evolution of that, what I was saying earlier about that, get a trade. Make sure you have a trade. It's like, make sure you're passionate about something, because just like my mum said that time, you know, 9 till 5, Monday to Friday, that is a lot of your life. You know, a lot. I don't know what the percentage is. Cheers. I don't know what the percentage is, right? but that's a fucking big percentage of your life. If you're working up to like, I don't know, what is it now, 65 to retire? You know, that's a long time. And if you hate every moment of it, you're going to end up very, very miserable, man. And all you people that watch my videos, I don't want that for you. I don't want that for you. I want you to be buzzing every day. So that's me. That's me. That's the story of me. That's how I got to be me. And I hope that was at least mildly interesting. Some of you may be watching the video like, why is he telling me his life story? He couldn't give a fuck. You know, and if you are one of those people that couldn't give a fuck, I'm sorry, man. I'm very sorry. But yeah. You can even watch this video on mute and just enjoy me riding through the scenery of Bristol, Bath, Psychopath. I'm also even slightly interested as I'm about to hit 700 miles on my bike. But thank you very much for watching this total waffle video, guys. More to come in the future, of course. And also, just a little bit of a spoiler, guys. I'm thinking about getting a new bike very soon. A new bike. I love it. It's gonna have to come all the way from America, right? Gonna cost an absolute fortune to get the bastard thing over here. But it is amazing. So I will be keeping this one because it's kind of a collector's item now. Because they don't make it anymore, and none really look like this with the skateboard bit on it, all those kind of things, you know. So I will be keeping it, and also it'll be handy for when I have mates over that don't have a bike. They can just ride this one. They can just ride on this one, and we go for a ride. But yeah, get a new bike very soon because I'm definitely buying it. I just don't know when. Because you know these bikes aren't cheap. You got to kind of work out how you're going to do it. But yeah, just a little spoiler on the bike. It's it has 2 motors. Motor on both wheels. Yeah. But as soon as that bike comes, you guys will be the first people to know about it. I'll do a review. I'll do a long-term review. I'll do a first feelings on it, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, you guys will be the first people to know. But thank you very much for watching, folks. I love all of you. Hope you're having a great summer now that we actually got some sun. Look at the sun. Look at it. Now that we actually got some sun. And as always, people, stay awesome.